I have been a UX designer for the past 5 years, designed and shipped apps at Hack MIT, Hack Harvard, and the Microsoft Imagine Cup, post which I interned at Swiggy twice and then joined Zuddle as their first UX designer. And if you ask me how would I do it, if I had to start over my career all again in 2023, this would be the exact roadmap I would follow. So without wasting any further time, let's get started. Alright, so here is the complete step-by-step UX roadmap that you can follow this year. The entire video is split into 3 modules. First module mein I will answer all the common questions that I keep getting: which laptop, internet, degree, age, average salary, so those things will be out of the way. In module 2, we will understand the difference between learning the tool versus learning the subject. This is something that we've covered in our previous videos as well. Just wanted to make sure everybody is on the same page. And then at the very end, we'll figure out how do you even crack good internships and jobs. This entire video is going to be filled with resources and a lot of links, so make sure you document them in your Notion page. Let's start with module number 1. The most common question is, which laptop or computer should I use? I will tell you how my evolution looked like. In my college days, I had a very basic Windows laptop, and that laptop costed around, I think, 35,000 rupees. That is something that my parents had bought for me. I would recommend that if you don't have a laptop, even if you can practice it at any common computer, or if your university or school or college has a common computer, you can spend some time there. Otherwise, if somehow you can either take it from your parents, or if you can somehow rent a MacBook Air, that would be perfect. Because once I entered my college, once I started freelancing, I took parents' money and I bought a MacBook Air. And of course, this is where a lot of privilege comes in. So I was very privileged that I had the money to get a MacBook Air. So on contrary, people think that a MacBook is very expensive, but at that point the MacBook Air that I had bought costed me 65,000 rupees. I'm not sure how much is it for now, but I also know that if you are interning or if you're in college, you can always ask your parents if you can get a good EMI for the laptop, because investing in a good laptop is very important. And then once I had my MacBook Air, the quality of my design became really high, because I could design very easily without having my computer crashing, right? And these days there are companies that can rent you a MacBook Air as well, so you can explore that as well. And then I eventually got an office laptop, and now I've officially bought my own laptop and my own computer. So in terms of the machinery, is it necessary to get a MacBook Air? Not at all. I personally have zero clue about machines. Even if you have a good computer that has a basic RAM, you can very easily run Figma, you can very easily do these things. The only reason why I recommend people a laptop is so that you can work out of anywhere, so that you can move and you're not stuck in one single place. Internet connection again plays a huge role in your learning overall, so please make sure that you invest in a good internet. Right now in my house, I have 2 internet connections. I got one Airtel and one Jio Fiber. These are not promoted videos, I'm just telling you what I have in my house. And I got 2 different brands, so that some days Airtel is not working, I use Jio Fiber. Some days Jio Fiber is not working, then I use Airtel, right? So my internet speed is very important, because sometimes I have to work on multiple files, and at that point internet becomes a huge bottleneck. Now the question is, do you need a specific degree or an age? Let's answer this question for 3 different categories of people. Someone who's in school just about to cross their 12th, somebody who's in college, and somebody who is done with undergraduation. Now if you're in school, let me tell you this: more than the degree, it matters the brand of your college. And if you're not scoring enough marks to get the good brand, then you should figure out where do good students come in, if I should be close to my house, if this is a good stamp. So I picked a BTech in computer science because from a very judgmental point of view, it was always a very safe degree. Okay, now there are some colleges that do offer UX degrees. Some of them are very expensive, some of them are not very expensive, and I can't give one single short answer saying that you go into this college and they will make you a great UX designer. I will tell you what I did. I picked a degree that I knew was very safe, and that was engineering. Now of course, engineering itself is very tough, so I went through that entire phase of learning engineering. To be honest, it has made me who I am. But if you're not from engineering background, if you're from an arts background or from a commerce background, I would recommend you to either pick a design college if you can get a degree in the field of UX, like a dedicated degree in the field of UX. Otherwise, if you're not getting, just get a good degree that will help you have a fallback option. That is the only thing that I would like to say. Don't do like a drop off thing. Don't say that I'm going to drop off and learn things on my own. I'm telling you, college gives you a lot of memories, puts you in discipline. It's just that your college name should be good. If the name is not that good, at least the degree or the subject that is there with your name, your degree should have a good subject. So you can have a normal college but a good strong degree, that also works, right? When it comes to comparing between college and degree, always go for the degree and not for the college name, because in the end it is about the work that you will do. The college brand name will not come and save you for the rest of your life. So overall, always prioritize degree. In this case, if you get a good design degree, good to go. If you can't afford it, the worst case scenario is just pick a basic degree and learn design side by side. If you're in college, probably in engineering, probably pursuing some other kind of a degree, don't drop off in the middle unless you are absolutely sure you want to take that risk. We've covered all of these decision making, all of these processes in this video that was called How to Glow Up and Fix Your Life. I would recommend you to check out that video. The link would be in description. But if you're in college, just stay as it is and learn design side by side. Now, if you're already done with an undergraduate program, just learn things side by side. You don't need to pursue a master's or pay somebody else to learn this skill. At least that is what I believe, right? So degree is done. In terms of age, there is no age barrier. There is no prerequisite. You could be like 50 years old, and if you have the will to learn, if you're actually interested in this subject, you will very easily go ahead and do this. Now, do you need to know coding or CS or tech or any creative thing? Absolutely not. This is a fresh subject. You don't need any of this. Now, do you need to buy any course or any certifications or any cohort? Do they help you in getting jobs? No, absolutely not. Nobody's going to look at your certificates and say, oh wow, here is a 12 lakh rupees annum package. It doesn't work like that. It all depends on whether you can deliver, whether you can actually solve good problems, whether you actually know how to design experiences, right? Now let's talk about the average stipend and salary in startups. If you are working in a VC-backed startup, the stipends are usually anywhere between 30 to 45,000 rupees per month. This is assuming that you have finished my syllabus. The syllabus I will give you later on, but if you finish that syllabus end to end, only then I can expect you to become good enough to make 30 to 45,000 rupees per month. This is stipend, right? So stipend goes around that, and when you join full-time, the salary is around 1 lakh rupees. Now, if you go to a good company, like a good brand, and by the way, they hire you only if you have at least 2 years of experience or like a 4-year long degree, then these things really help you. But even in this 4-year degree, you need to be very, very good. I know that even in a degree, only 5% of those people are employable. And when you ask those 5% people who are actually pursuing a UX degree, they will tell you that a lot of their knowledge has come from hands-on projects. So the degree sort of gave them avenues, but in the end, it was their own hard work that took them to the next level. So in companies, I am now hearing, and I know such people, their stipend itself is 60 to 75,000 rupees per month as an intern. So these are big brands, like the big brands. Okay. For basic brands, it comes out to be around like, I don't know, 40 to 50k. That could be the average. And these are very, very good numbers. Now, the thing is, when I throw around these numbers, people think that, oh, I will also get it. I will do some cohort. I will do some certifications, practice for 6 to 8 months, and then I will get there. That is not how it works. And when I give you the syllabus later on, when I tell you the price that you have to pay to get here, you will also realize that after so much of hard work, this is something that you deserve. In terms of freelancing, people usually get 30 to 35,000 rupees per client. These new freelancers, if you get someone from US or UK, that is even better. In agencies, it's usually around 50 to 60k per month. I don't recommend working for an agency at the beginning of your career. It's a tough field. So if you're getting into a new VC-backed startup, that has the maximum upside and you can get paid well as well. But if you're able to get a good company and that is what you want to do, that also makes sense. The only downside with a big company is that you always end up being a very small piece in a very big machine. So there would be weeks where you don't have any work at all. So you start feeling a bit useless. That's one bad side, right? Now the time is, how much time does it take to crack a good branded internship? I personally believe that to finish my 15 episode course, you need at least 2 months. After that, if you were to follow the redesign playlist, all of those things, it takes another 2 to 3 months to sort of make your own case studies. So I think you need at least 5 to 6 months of good practice, of good regular practice to crack a good internship. And to get a good internship, of course, you need your case studies, you need a portfolio. We've covered all these checklists in the 15 episode course, as well as this video that we made called Insider Tips on Getting a Good Design Job. So we've covered in that. But basically, you need to look at a time frame of 5 to 6 months of good practice to get a good internship. Then that internship goes around for 3 to 6 months, and once that internship is over, you can finally negotiate for a full-time offer. So just to quickly revise module number 1, we covered all the prerequisites. I told you the difference between, probably going in a degree versus doing these things on your own, and then the average salary and the timeline it takes for different companies. With that, we come to module number 2, understanding the difference between learning the tool versus the subject. Now, every skill has 2 parts. You have a tool and then you have the subject. If you look at UX, the tool might be Figma, Zeppelin, and then Adobe After Effects. When we talk about the subject, it is user experience in general, it is prototyping, it is research, it is user persona, it is probably iteration and testing, all of these things, right? And problem solving and prioritization and management and a lot of other stuff. Now, the quality of your tool skill, specifically when it comes to Figma, it depends on where you learn it, how often do you practice what you are learning, and who gives you feedback. And I'm not going to go into too much of depths in this entire subject because I've already covered this in one of our previous videos. So once you finish the syllabus that I recommend later on, you will know these things. Now, if you're here for the first time, I have already created a very detailed playlist on UX design available in both Hindi and in English. So that was English. This one is in Hindi. If you follow all of these videos, you will be sorted. So this is me just giving you all the resources to learn the tool itself. Okay, for improving your soft skills, to improving your personality overall, we have created a playlist called Improve Your Life, where I teach you Notion, the tool that helps you document. I tell you all the tips that can help you glow up as a person, how to optimize your life, how to improve your life. Then there are 3 very, very important videos on how to become better in social settings, how to network in parties. So these things will really, really help you build long-term connections. Because at the end of the day, it is really, really important that you know how to deal with people. Now, apart from these generic skills, when you finish my generic playlist, you need to become very, very good at the tool itself. Now, Figma has created this blog called Shortcut. When you go to their blog, you will find some very, very, very good technical articles. So they have this section called Technical Deep Dives. Please make sure that you read all of them. Set dedicated time slots in your day. Make sure you're covering these resources one by one. Then they have this thing called best practices. When you go to their website, you will see very, very detailed articles and video tutorials on how you can collaborate better, on copywriting, on understanding all the different features that Figma has, because the sad part is that most people don't even know how powerful Figma is. And right now at Config, they have announced Figma AI. Auto Layout has come up with some very, very cool stuff. The first video of my old playlist spoke about this plugin called Responsive. That plugin is now redundant altogether because responsive design has taken a completely new shape with the new Auto Layout features. If you don't know these things, you will always be left behind. So please make sure that you regularly finish this syllabus and make notes of everything that you learn. Then Figma uploads all of their videos from their annual conference on this website called config.figma.com/video on demand. So if you click on this recordings panel, you will have access to all of their talks. And the reason why these talks are so important is because they don't just talk about hands-on tools, they also talk about the entire process of design thinking in the first place. So this AI and the future of design, extremely, extremely important video. Deep dive into the designer and developer mode, very, very important. All of these deep dive sessions, they will really, really help you become strong at the technical aspects of your job. And in fact, if you find someone very relatable, if you find something very interesting, you can always connect with these people on Instagram and LinkedIn. You can either follow them, send them a note, let them know what you liked about their video, and they will appreciate it. Now, Figma on their YouTube channel has launched a free tutorial playlist on creating design systems. Now obviously this is not as detailed as I would want it to be, but I know that if you watch these videos along with my 15 videos, you will have enough syllabus to get started. See, I'm not going to make this video a tutorial based video. You don't need that. You need to know where to learn this skill from. Because you saw that checklist that we had on the very top. The quality of your tool skill depends on where you learn it. So we're now crossing this. If you figure out where you can learn it properly, you will save a lot of time in the longer run. Okay. Now this was for the tool part. When it comes to the subject part, when it comes to the theory of it, the mental models of it, you need to go to this website called growth.design and read as many case studies as you can. So each of these is a separate case study. If you've been following my videos for a while, you would already know how crazy this resource is. After your case studies, you can also spend some time learning the psychology part. So when you click on psychology, they have a list of mental models that users regularly have. I regularly check this website called Mobin. And if you're doing the 100-day UI challenge, make sure you take inspiration from a website like Mobin, because you don't need to learn from fictional apps that are available on Dribble. You need to learn from apps that are actually profitable, that are actually helping companies grow faster. So this one single website can really help you a lot. If you want to learn about web design, there's this website called Page Flows. Now all of these resources are paid. So I know that as a beginner, it might be difficult for you to afford these. So you can either email them for a student discount or use their free plan or freelance and fund your own tools, because that is what I did. I used to do a lot of freelance and then pay for all of these subscriptions, and they paid me back multifold. There's one more website dedicated to SaaS tools, which is saasinterface.com. Amazing resource of SaaS tools, because I think designing for web is way more difficult than designing for mobile, simply because you have more real estate, more interactions, more capacity, even from a very software perspective. Web platforms have some crazy features, right? So you need to know how to design for those. There's also SaaS UI.design, again just like SaaS interface, but just another library that you can check out. And I have made a very comprehensive list. There's a dedicated video just on UX design resources that are absolutely free. Please check them out. You will not need any other guidance. You will not need any other design resource in general if you check out everything that I've mentioned in this one video. I made this video 2 months ago. Trust me, very few people have used it. I'm pretty sure out of those very few people, a very short percentage of people would have actually explored. But I can assure you that if you take this video seriously, you will not need any design mentor. You will not need to pay for any design degree. Let's do a quick revision. We understood the difference in between learning the tool and the subject. I gave you a bunch of resources for both of these things. I've given you a list of playlists that have free videos that will help you cover all the basics, and then some top free resources to improve your overall UX skills. And that one single video will open up doors to many other resources in general. Now, how do you crack good internships and jobs? Specifically, we should talk about how do you crack good internships and jobs for the next upcoming 6 months, when the entire avenue, this entire world of design is changing, with AI tools coming in, with spatial design coming in. Now, I have mentioned this video again and again, would still mention this because this one single video has a step-by-step checklist on how you can improve yourself as a UX designer and how you can get a very good job in a big brand, as a freelancer, whatever it is. It's a 20-minute long video. I will put the link in description. Please go through that video. When you are following this video, you would realize that you will first build your online presence, and then it would slowly take you to an offline presence. Online, you need to be visible to the right kind of people. So as I said, when you're watching your Figma config videos, make notes, connect with the authors. When you're going through Mobin, when you're going through their web design, when you're going through different companies on LinkedIn, connect with their designers and tell them that, hey, I was making notes, found this amazing thing that you did in your design, really appreciate it, looking forward to seeing more of your work. A simple add to note, right? When you're connecting, just add a note to your connection. Trust me, the conversions will go very high. And as I said, once you start freelancing with people, always over deliver, always be very articulate in your responses, keep working on yourself. There's this one video that I shared right in the previous slides. It is on how to glow up. When you glow up, your charisma will improve. When your charisma will improve, people will start talking about you to other people, and that word of mouth will help you more than anything. I'm skimming these through very quickly because all of these concepts have been covered. But in terms of the approach, in terms of the case studies, please make sure that you first start with a mobile iOS case study, because those are the simplest, because Android rules are slightly complicated, right? Once you're done with your mobile iOS, then if you want, then you can always do something for Android. But I would recommend you to stick to one niche. If you're just starting out, mobile iOS is way more easier, and Apple has released a lot of guidelines on their website. If you go on Google and just type Apple guidelines for design Design and HCI, you will find their guidelines for iOS. Later on, you should have at least one case study on a web project, which should be around a SaaS tool. So SaaS interface, SaaS UI.design, these things will really help you. In fact, the video that I have on the 10 UX design resources, that has a long list of resources that can help you improve your web design skills in general. In parallel, start working on your charisma, your confidence, and the ability to sell. This is very important, because it doesn't matter how hard you work, how much effort you're putting in your designs. If you're not able to communicate your value, if you're not able to communicate your vision, if you're not able to convince the opposite person that this is what they need to do with your designs will be restricted to your Figma file. There's this one YouTube channel called Charisma on Command. I would genuinely recommend you folks to start checking that out. I used to watch a lot of these videos and they have really helped me. In terms of confidence, there's this one book in terms of negotiating. I'm saying confidence in terms of a negotiating point of view. Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. Amazing book. It will really teach you a lot about negotiating in general. And your ability to sell, I think this comes with practice. When you become very good at what you do, when you're confident in your own skin, when you know how to negotiate, you will automatically become a better seller. So this was the video that I was referring to, how to glow up and fix your life. Trust me, it will really change you. It took me a lot of time to sort of figure these things out, and I wish I had somebody to inform me about these things beforehand. While you're making your case studies, your user personas, testing your ideas, start learning prompt engineering, start learning ChatGPT, start learning tools like Notion Smith. So I have been posting a lot of these tools on my LinkedIn, on my Instagram, just to give you a glimpse. Notion Smith actually creates fake user personas for you, and it creates AI chatbots for the same user personas. So you tell Notion Smith about your app idea, it will create personas for you, and then you can chat with those personas and tell them about your features. So it's a brilliant tool for product research in general. And start using AI to get a head start in all areas of your work. If you can't pick up problem statements, ask ChatGPT. You can't figure out information architecture, ask ChatGPT. You're stuck at some feature idea, ask GPT. You're trying to figure out how do you upskill in a specific domain. You want UI design resources, you want UX design resources, ask GPT. So you need to know how to become a better prompter, right? And I have released a lot of videos. I have released a free ebook on the basics of prompt engineering. I personally know how important this is, not just for UX designers, but for everyone. So it's very important that you start upskilling yourself in this one single domain. And you will find the link to download this ebook for free in the description. So please check that out. Apart from that, I have been making a lot of videos on both ChatGPT and Midjourney. Each of these videos will give you some very important use cases. In fact, there's one video dedicated on ChatGPT prompts for UX designers. So I'm reminding you about these videos because these resources are already there on the internet. So you can use them. I have collected all of these things. I've made very highly dense videos so that you don't have to pay somebody else to learn these things for, by spending a lot of money. In parallel, read as much as you can on Medium. I personally believe that Growth.design, Built for Mars, Hooked, and Medium. These websites, Hooked is a book, by the way. Even Inside BE is also a very good place to, learn about consumer psychology and behavioral psychology. You can really learn about how products work in general. And when you do that, it will shape the way you think about solutions in the first place. And I'm telling you, anytime you come across something interesting, keep connecting with folks on LinkedIn and Twitter. Whatever you work on, keep posting it on LinkedIn and Twitter. Very soon, they will start noticing you. If they still don't notice you, start building a habit of sending emails with free redesigns. And I'll tell you how to approach this. Start approaching VC-backed startups or content creators. Why? Because these people have money and they need someone like you. Everybody needs an app. Everybody needs a website. In a lot of cases, they would already have an app. They would already have a website. But it would be very bad because these people are not tech designers. You can actually take a screenshot, redesign it, make a 2-minute Loom video, send them an email. Now I know this is very high effort for each and every client, but trust me, it is worth it. You send this video to 3 good VC-backed startups, just 3 content creators, I can assure you that you will get a reply back. But don't make it into a templatized thing. Do free designs. I'm telling you, those 6 free redesigns will pay you 10 times more in the longer run. And folks, don't expect great results unless you spend 5 to 6 months. It's not gonna happen. Especially with the syllabus that I have just given you, you need to spend at least 5 to 6 months to get a good internship. Start focusing on AR and spatial design. If you're getting too bullish on iOS and Android and mobile interfaces, folks, you're officially working very hard into a domain that is going to expire. So Apple has released these very intense guidelines on their developers documentation. Go there. They have started to create videos for spatial design already. Very few people know about them. In fact, Meta has created some very good mixed reality design guidelines. So they're all very specific to their own platforms. But in February, when Vision Pro is out, a lot of companies will start hiring product managers, designers, and developers who understand AR. At that point, you can be those rare folks who know how to design for spatial interfaces. So just as a quick revision of module number 3, we understood how to be visible online, how to connect with the right kind of people. We understood the important soft skills that you need to improve. I gave you a bunch of videos that now you need to check out, YouTube channels that you need to check out to improve yourself, improve your soft skills, improve your communication in specific. And then we discussed some very important tips on making sure that you are preparing for skills that allow you to get more leverage in the future. Knowing ChatGPT, knowing prompt engineering, using tools like Notion Smith, knowing basics of spatial design, knowing these guidelines before everybody else starts, selling cohorts on this. You can learn this for free from their documentation. With that, we finished the entire video. I hope it made sense. I know I've given a lot of resources and there's a lot of homework after this video, but the point of these quick overview roadmap videos is to make you informed about all the resources that exist on the internet. You don't have to pay anybody to learn these skills properly. The links for every single free resource and playlist would be mentioned in the description. Let me know in the comment section if there's any specific topic you want me to cover in the next video. I hope you've also checked out some of our UX breakdown videos as well as our redesign videos. You can always reach out to me on Instagram on anshmehra.ai. I hope that you're taking care of your mind and body. This is your dost Ansh Mehra signing out. If you like this video, make sure you click on like and hit the subscribe button. I regularly upload videos on UX design, marketing and storytelling.